Hello everybody, I'm Bob Pinto, National Director of FCA Softball. I'm sitting here with Christina Miles and some amazing young ladies that attend the University of Oklahoma. We're actually sitting in their locker room. We have here Jessica Schultz, we have Destiny Martinez, Lauren Chamberlain, and Brianna Terang. And you know them because you saw them in the World Series last year. We're just going to sit, have a little conversation, talk about what's going on in their lives and how God is working through them. So thanks ladies, this is exciting. You guys happy to be here?
Yes.
We do want to thank Coach Gasso for this because she set this up, so it's really cool. So guys, tell me I'm just going to throw a question out there. Anybody can answer. What's going on in your lives right now as softball players at the University of Oklahoma?
We're just in our third week here, so we just started school again and getting back into workouts, and we're doing pretty intense workouts right now for softball because it's the off season. But Coach Gasso likes to incorporate CrossFit into our workouts, so it's pretty intense right now.
It's intense, huh?
Yeah.
I can imagine. How do you guys? I know Sarah Roberts is your chaplain for the team, and Sarah's amazing. I got to meet her. I know you guys all love her. How? What's a routine that you guys have with Sarah?
We meet with Sarah every Thursday night for Bible study, just in here, and she goes over, she sends out a great message, and then we have some fun in here. She brings some snacks. And
I know, I saw those.
yeah.
They look pretty
Had
good.
a couple of them.
Did you? So Sarah is amazing. How about Coach Gasso? How is it to play for Coach Gasso? I know she's an amazing woman of God, and she just must have an amazing influence on you guys.
She definitely gets the best out of us every time we step out on the field and off the field. And she, seeing her really portray her faith, being on such a big stage, it really inspires us as well.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's actually out recruiting this weekend, or she would have been here. But she told me you guys are awesome, and she loves you guys. But as a Division I softball athlete, there's a lot of stresses, I would imagine. There's also, there's a lot of pressure on you to perform. So how do you? Let's do each one. We'll start with Jessica. How do you handle the stress and the pressure, and how does God help you with that?
I think it's just a matter of balance. If you have balance in your life with God and your sport and everything, I feel like everything else kind of just falls into place. If you don't have really balance with that kind of stuff, then I feel like that's when people's lives are kind of a little out of whack. So you have to just, yeah.
You're out of balance. If you don't make God center, then everything else is out of balance. So that's good. Destiny?
Same. If you're not making time for it, and you're gonna find some struggles here and there, but as long as He's there, you can get through it.
Do you find it hard to make time?
Not in the off season, but with our team too, and during season we find time together.
Yeah.
Since we're on the road together and stuff, so.
That is so cool. Lauren?
I think it's a big trust thing too, just knowing that whatever God leads you to, He'll get you through it, and just going back and trusting that His will is the way, and He's leading you in the right direction.
That's so cool.
Yeah, like Lauren said, I think trust is a big thing. I think that you have to step down and realize that everything that's happening and everything that's going on in your life is God's will. And I think if you just accept that and keep moving forward, it's awesome. And having teammates like this that we can come together on Thursday nights and be able to fellowship together, and then being able to fellowship on the road too, is just awesome. So
That's cool. I think Coach Gasso told me sometimes she invites the other team
Yeah.
on game day.
Uh-huh.
That's really cool. Do they come?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do? That is so awesome. I know Christina, I'm taking up time. Go ahead.
That's okay.
I know Christina has some questions.
So we kind of have an idea coming up that we want to start some FCA camps and clinics, and we think it would be really great to incorporate college athletes as well as professional athletes to come in and be an impact on the kids. So much of our time is spent on the field, especially on Sundays, and it can be really easy to overlook, quiet time or time with God, especially, you guys know traveling, it's hard. So is that something, what do you guys think about, having clinics or being able to impact kids on the field? Do you think that would be successful, or do you think that's something that we could do?
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. I think it would be successful because you're tying in both softball and fellowship, so I think that would work out really well.
I think I can speak for everyone here. We're from California, and we don't really have something like that we can get involved in much. And it's not really, FCA is not really known around there. And so being able to hold camps for kids to play the sport they love, but also build a strong foundation for that sport and realize how they're getting there and how they're getting through it, I think that'd be awesome for everyone to see.
Yeah, that would be amazing, because you guys, like it or not, God's put you in this position as role models. So now, because of the great thing about TV is that your faces are out there, and everybody knows every one of you that watched the World Series last year, and they know your names. You're probably household names in softball, but you're not afraid to show your faith, and that is amazing. And that's what FCA softball is about. We're trying to get those younger kids and the coaches to see that there's successful softball players at the Division I level with all the stresses. I mean, you guys, you can look around. I don't know if you guys can see all this, but there is, I mean, you know, I don't like to use the word lucky because God doesn't deal with luck, but you guys are pretty fortunate to be in this situation. I mean, you have amazing coach, you have Sarah, you have all this equipment, you have this room that you can come to. Does that ever get lost when you think about the big picture, that you have all this and there's a lot of players that want to be in your shoes that can't be? Does that ever, you know, take it for granted, I guess?
It happens, but I think that our support, like Coach and Sarah, they really like bring us back down when everything kind of gets hyped up. They remind us that we are very fortunate.
Yeah, because this is amazing. I mean, some people never get to experience this, but the most important thing is it's not all this stuff, because this is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, so Peter, I think, says that it's all going to be burned in the fire someday. So it's not about this, it's about what you guys, it's about your relationship with Christ and what you bring, how you what's the word I'm looking for, Christina? How you set that example for the younger generation is what I'm trying to say. So, really important question is, when you're out there signing autographs, playing in front of all these young ladies that want to be you, do you think about that? Do you feel God inside you telling you that those young ladies that I need you to be an example for them? Do you feel that? You do?
Yeah.
That's another, that could be difficult, actually, because that's a lot of pressure. But like Lauren and I were talking before, you just have to know that God is there for you and that He's put you in this position. And that's another question I want to ask in a minute, but I know Christina has some.
Just one question. When things are going wrong, when you have a day where, you know, you can't hit water if you fall out of a boat, or, you know, every ground ball is bouncing off of you, how do you deal with that in those situations? Like, I know there are times you'd probably rather throw your glove than, you know, say, okay, God, I need a little help here, but how does God influence those times when it's all seems to fall off the table?
I think we have teammates to hold us accountable. I'll never forget, there was a TV game, and I was playing right field, Destiny was playing center field, and I probably had one of the worst games I've ever had in my life. Like, I was to the point, I told her, I looked at her and said, I just want to sit down right now, like on the ground. And she was there to pick me up, and she was there to be like, hey, let's go, you know? And I think we're so fortunate to have so many teammates that are there for you, and being able to look at her and see like that fire and be like, hey, let's go, and have her there to pick me up. It's like everything just comes back into place, because you were once those little kids, and you were once those kids that were like, oh, can I have your autograph? Like, we were there, and so I think it just kind of puts everything back into perspective, and having those teammates to hold you accountable is just awesome.
That is amazing. You guys are very fortunate to have this team. I was talking to Lauren before also about a lot of times on teams when there's all females around each other for 9 months, there's some drama.
No.
But Lauren said there really was no drama last year. Is that unusual, Jessica?
I think so. I mean, to have as many girls as we do around each other, like you said, all the time, every weekend. It was nice to just not have drama. We just handled our business on the field, and you can tell that it was paying off. Like, and it was a great ride.
Yeah, it was obvious watching you guys play that you really enjoyed each other. You really loved the sport. And I think that's a testament to Coach Gasso and Sarah and of course the Lord. I mean, He's given you that ability. So, and Lauren, you were saying before about we were talking about the drama on the team, and we got, what do you have, 6 new freshmen,
Mhm.
7, and they're all
That's
from
6 or 7.
Oklahoma.
7.
Yeah.
So, how are you guys? How are you influencing the freshmen when they come in? Has it happened yet? Because it's kind of early.
It's still pretty early, but I guess the biggest thing is just letting them know that we've all been there, done that, I guess.
Mhm.
And now, I mean, I'm a sophomore now, so it's like, it was still fresh for me coming in my freshman year. So it's just letting them know that it's a hard process, but you get through it, and that's what your teammates are for.
Yeah. How about you, Destiny?
I mean, we kind of just let them know that Sarah's here. They came to a couple of her Bible study sessions, and I mean, it hasn't gotten too hard yet, but I mean, they know that we're here. We've been through it all, so.
Yeah, I'm sure they come in fresh off a World Series. I mean, the freshmen probably are in awe a little bit. Again, they step into this, and it's nothing like high school was. So it's amazing. And we were also talking about that you feel, Lauren, that God has you right where He wants you here. And I think Jimmy Gasso even said that to you, because I said that to you in the hallway, that it's no mistake that we're all sitting here right now. God's using all this, and I have to tell the story that when I was watching that last game, I knew when that last out was made that I needed to be here. And it had so happened that Dot, I didn't know when I was coming, but Dot had that meeting today with ASA, and it happened to be today. There happens to be no football game here today. You guys aren't playing today. I mean, it all worked out. It's like the Holy Spirit worked this all out so we can be here. So it's really cool. You guys have an amazing influence on the people that are watching this. It just, sometimes it gives me chills. But anyway, go ahead. Do you have anything else? No? I want to ask you a question. I know this might be hard, but how's the Lord using, and I want each one of you to answer, how's the Lord using what happened at the World Series? It was a tough loss, the rain, the whole thing, having to wait for that game. How do you think God's using that now, personally? And then we'll talk about for the whole team. You can start, Jeff.
I think He's just, challenging us. I mean, we have a lot of people coming back from last year and everything. Just seeing how we bounce back and how we deal with. We can sit here all day and say those were an issue, but I mean, both teams had to play too. So I think He's challenging us to get back out there and not use any of those excuses as an excuse, and kind of just play our game and know that we have another year to get back at it.
That's a great answer. No excuses.
I just feel like He's kind of, it was just a way to get us all to push harder and get back to where we were, and hopefully get it this next time. And just like our morning workouts and everything, it's just in the back of our minds to get through it, and it's just a push, basically.
Yeah. So, no excuses, and when things don't go your way, work harder. Beautiful. Love it.
I would say, I know in one of the games, it was, we won the first game, and then when we lost the second, I think it was Schultz that said, God's just, wants us to play another game of softball tomorrow. So I think He's just saying, like, I'm giving you guys another year, as a team coming back, and just giving you guys another opportunity to shine on the field.
I love that. Got chills.
I think personally for me it'd be just to trust. I think that's always one of my biggest issues, is trusting that everything's going to work out how it's supposed to. And if you noticed, if anyone watched the game and they noticed that they zoomed in on our board and it said fight, finish, and faith. And I think that was so important for that to happen, because that is what you have to do. And I can speak for all of us saying that at the end of my life, I hope that I can look at myself in the mirror and say, I fought the fight, I finished the race, and I've kept the faith. And I think that is another thing for me, was just trusting that everything's going to be laid out how it's supposed to, and He's using this game to glorify His name. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
FCA is going to come here probably in January, February, and they're going to do a story with Coach Gasso. They're going to tape her about that experience at the World Series and how God is using it, and how amazingly humble and dignified she was through that, and all of you guys were, and it showed. So that's going to be a great story. But I was like, God, I was so angry. God, why did you let this happen? Why did you let it rain? Blah blah. And I realized there's God's got a better plan than we do, and so that's the cool part about it, is that you guys, and if you guys come back and win it this year, it'll just be even, the story will be just even more amazing. So I'm looking forward to that. Don't want to put pressure on you, anyway. But you got anything else?
No, that's good.
So, again, these amazing young ladies that live their faith when they play softball, they're not afraid to share it. We just hope this touched you somewhere. The Holy Spirit spoke to you. We just look forward to watching them play, and I hope you guys look forward to that interview with Coach Gasso that'll be coming up in the next few months here. So, again, ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys are amazing, and we're praying for you for this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Say goodbye.
Bye.